Where have you been?
Bermuda. Thought you quit smoking.
Nope.
What are those for?
You know what day it is.
Oh, Ma, I can't handle that today.
Fine.
Well, now you're gonna guilt me.
Guilt is not a verb.
It is the way you do it.
Sorry about the carnations. I know you hate them. But that's all they had left. Gil's florist has gone downhill. He used to have tulips all year long. But he claims they're too expensive. I think he's just gotten lazy.
What makes you think he can hear you?
What makes you think he can't?
Ma's still smoking. Happy birthday, Daddy.
Judge Gray, sorry to keep you waiting. You've got coffee?
No, thanks.
I know this is the last thing you need right now, given what you've been through. Shall we sit? This Ian Jankowski is on the warpath. He's really got it in for you. Judge Faraday is feeling a certain amount of political pressure.
The Russell Younger case didn't help matters. Public sentiment was on your side, but internally there's a residual feeling of Nero fiddling while Rome burned.
Meaning that while I was off sleeping with my CSO, I put the judicial system at risk?
There's no logic to any of this, Judge Gray.
So there's going to be a complaint before the Judicial Review Council.
It's heading that way.
So what can I do?
Just be honest.
Well, that certainly worked so far.
As your attorneys, we need to know everything. All of the details of your history with this Mr. Jankowski, as well as with your CSO, Mr. Van Exel.
Mr. Jankowski dislikes me because I reprimanded him once in court. As far as Mr. Van Exel is concerned, we worked together.
You didn't socialize?
No.
He never had dinner at your house?
Once. Thanksgiving, but we were working.
Ever work late together? Alone?
No.
I have something in my notes about an out-of-town trip.
I adjudicated a case in Marston. He went with me.
An overnight trip.
We were working.
You stayed at the same hotel?
There was only one hotel.
Separate rooms, I take it? I have to ask.
Yes.
Maxine Gray's desk. Jared, how are you? We miss seeing you around here. Maxine is just fine, but not here. She's late. Yes, I'll tell her. Uh-huh, I always do. Bye.
Thanks, Tanya.
Maxine, you're turning me into a pathological liar.
You're getting very good at it.
Why are you avoiding the man? Why don't you just break up with him and let somebody have him?
I don't want to break up with him. I want to avoid him. I'm tired. I've got a lot on my mind. He's always so cheerful and supportive.
Yeah, that does tend to grate.
It's my husband's birthday. I'm not feeling all that romantic.
I think he'd understand.
Jared or my husband?
Both.
I could really use your help on a case.
Sorry, I'm strictly paperwork.
We agreed to 3 months.
I thought we agreed to whenever I felt up to it.
You said it'd be 3 months at the most.
My family has been through a terrible ordeal. I'm sorry if I'm not bouncing back on your schedule.
Will you just read the case and tell me what you think? It's a 4-year-old girl. She's acting out. There's evidence of vaginal tearing. The mother's convinced something's going on somewhere.
Then you should assign someone to follow up.
How about this? You just take a look at it, and I won't mention what time you came in.
Robert?
Mr. Clancy has been charged with illegal possession of a firearm. School principal discovered an unloaded .38 caliber pistol in Mr. Clancy's locker. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Clancy was expelled from school and is being held on bail. I would know where I was going if I could find my glasses. Where the hell are my glasses? Thank you. Mr. Van Exel, I'm missing paperwork here. Where's this boy's prior record?
He doesn't have one, Your Honor.
Nothing? Not even a misdemeanor?
No, sir.
You're telling me this is the first time he's in my court?
Yours or anybody's?
Mr. Clancy, you decide to skip over the minor transgressions and get right to the hard crime, is that it?
My client found the gun in his home. It belonged to his mother's boyfriend. He felt it wasn't safe since he has young siblings, so he brought it to school.
So he stole the gun as well?
He didn't know what else to do.
It never occurred to him to take the gun to a police station?
All due respect, a black man walks into a police station with a gun. He does not stand a good chance of walking back out.
I don't need you reminding me of our social plight. We got plenty of rock stars to do that.
We are asking for 3 years at Long Lane, Your Honor, in keeping with the zero-tolerance policy as regards children and firearms in the public schools.
I'm sure you got a problem with that, Mr. Johnson.
I feel 3 years is excessive. We're asking for probation or suspended sentence. We have an independent psych evaluation for your consideration.
Let me guess. Attention deficit disorder, oppositional defiance disorder. Not sure we need to take up the court's time with all that. This is a serious case.
And it deserves a serious consideration, Your Honor.
Okay, counsel. If you please, we'll put it on the docket for tomorrow. Next.
I don't think I've ever seen so many people stand in line for food that you can hardly eat. And expensive. I paid $8 for a slab of meatloaf. Somebody ought to take them to court.
Hi, Patrice.
So, are you having any lunch?
No, I'm really not that hungry.
Honey, you're gonna blow away. I hope you don't mind if I eat in here. I really don't like hanging around the cafeteria with all the gossip flying.
Gossip?
You know, your situation. As your new CSO, it's best that I remain neutral. That's why I never ask you anything about it. It's none of my business.
So what's on the docket this afternoon?
Not much. I continued most of your cases.
I didn't ask you to continue my cases, Patrice.
You were loaded down. You really don't need that kind of stress right now.
Well, that's not how I work. So what I need you to do is get on the phone and call back as many cases as you can.
Some of the attorneys have left for the day.
Well, that's why God made pagers. Judge Gray.
Hi, Donna. The judge and I are in a conference at the moment.
Oh, sorry. It's just strudel. Excuse me?
From the cafeteria.
Donna, I really appreciate it. I'm just not very hungry right now.
You love strudel.
No, you love strudel.
I've already had some. I guess I could have some more.
You could.
Eating for two.
Sandy, can you find a home for these? Maybe send them up to the children's ward.
Right away.
Mom.
Vincent?
No, it's Raymond Burr. Good guess, though.
We have some exciting news, Mrs. Gray.
Nora's pregnant. It happened while I was on life support. Ow. No abusing the invalid.
We had a very good day. Tell her what you did. We walked on the treadmill.
I walked on the treadmill. You read magazines.
That's excellent, Vincent. How long?
4 minutes.
No, let him do it.
Next week, the polka.
You're doing great. You enjoy your dinner with Mom, and I'll be back in an hour.
Thanks, Nora.
God, she's awful.
She drinks.
She does?
Vodka and her diet Snapple.
Well, that makes me like her a little better.
Is Amy coming?
Didn't she come this morning? Well, she should be coming soon.
I'm starving.
You're supposed to read first.
Can we make an exception?
No, we can't. One page, that's all I ask.
Mom, it's not getting any better.
That's why you have to practice. Just do the headline.
I don't want to.
Sound it out.
I can't sound it out.
The Dow Jones Average. The information is all in your brain, Vincent. You just have to learn to access it. That's what the doctor said.
The doctor also said I might never walk again.
And you proved him wrong. You're not going to let this beat you up.
This isn't like walking. That's just about overcoming pain. This is the visual striate cortex of the left occipital lobe. It isn't working. It's on an extended vacation. Staring at a newspaper doesn't help.
The Dow Jones Average.
Fell. Can we eat now?
He did 4 minutes on the treadmill today. 2 weeks ago, he couldn't even do 1 minute.
That's great.
Come on, pal. Let's have some gas.
Tap him between the shoulder blades, Peter. And a little harder.
How come you teach babies to burp and then you tell kids not to burp?
It's the cycle of life, honey.
That's right. We learn things and then we unlearn them.
Will Uncle Vincent have to learn how to burp again?
No, he just has to learn how to read again. That's what we're focused on now. He has a condition called, what is it called, Amy?
He can't read.
Well, it has a name. He understands, but he doesn't recognize the letters. You see, when he had his accident.
Can we talk about something else?
All right. Does anyone know what today is?
Dad's birthday.
Do you still have birthdays when you're dead?
You do as long as people remember them.
Here, Mom, why don't you give it a try? I'm not getting anywhere.
Peter, it's a skill you need to develop.
Maxine, you should come to Ned's music and movement class sometime.
Music and movement? He's 4 months old. The only music and movement he should be doing is in his diapers.
Babies pick up a lot at his age. You should go.
We missed you at the hospital today.
Yeah, my afternoon was crazy.
I don't think it would hurt you to work a little less these days.
Well, I can't do that. I have responsibilities.
Give me a belch.
For heaven's sake, Peter. Maybe the baby doesn't want to burp. Amy? I brought some tea. Oh, well, have a fresh cup. I guess you're busy.
I had to cancel my morning session. I met with my lawyers.
How did that go?
Okay.
It'll blow over. Mark my words, it's nonsense.
It's very persistent nonsense.
Well, what could this man possibly have on you?
He doesn't have anything on me, Mother.
I'm just saying, there'll be a hearing. Nothing will come of it. You mark my words.
I'm glad you're so confident.
Amy, what's gotten into you? I know you've been through a lot. We've all been through a lot, but you are still required to behave in a civil manner.
I am not the one harping on death and hospitals.
I'm not harping.
I don't think it's a good idea for Lauren to be surrounded by nothing but bad news.
Well, we happen to have a lot of that at the moment. I'm sorry it's an inconvenience for you.
Mom, every day I have to walk down those halls with people staring at me and whispering at me. You know, God knows what they're saying. And in the court, I can feel the disdain. The lawyers treat me differently. In small ways, they roll their eyes, they talk back. I have fought so hard for their respect, and now this. I don't know how to fight it. I don't know who to trust. Well, maybe it's selfish, but when I come home, I want to feel safe. I want to be cheered up.
Well, it's a little selfish.
Thanks for understanding.
Mr. and Mrs. Fleming filed for divorce 8 months ago and have been unable to reach a custody agreement concerning their 6-year-old daughter, Stacy. Each is seeking sole physical custody. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. And both parents claim that the other is not competent to care for the child?
Your Honor. 11 months ago, the Flemings suffered a tragic loss when their infant son succumbed to meningitis. Since then, Mrs. Fleming has spiraled into depression. She's been in and out of doctor's care, is on medication, and is basically unable to cope.
That is not true, Your Honor. Stacy is well cared for by her mother. Mr. Fleming, however, has thrown himself into his work. He's at the office 13 hours a day and leaves Stacy in the care of a babysitter.
My client is struggling to provide a normal life for his daughter, while Mrs. Fleming is indulging the child in regressive behavior. She allows Stacy, who is 6 years old, to drink out of a bottle and use a pacifier.
My client would like to put the child into therapy, but her husband is adamantly opposed.
Your Honor, Stacy has been through enough. She needs order and structure.
He wants to sweep it all under the rug and act like it never happened. He won't even talk about it with Stacy.
I don't want to dwell on it the way you do. It's morbid.
Everybody calm down for a minute. Mrs. Fleming, do you need a break? Well, I'm very sorry for your loss. I understand that the death of a child is a terrible thing to confront. And people grieve in different ways. Stacy needs both of her parents, and I think it's a bad idea to try to isolate her.
Frankly, my client is afraid for his child's safety.
So is mine.
Well, I'm going to appoint a guardian ad litem to try to determine the best interests of the child. In the meantime, counsel, I urge you to continue talking. It is my hope that your clients may come to an agreement outside of the courtroom.
Two delinquency cases for neglect, for custody.
For custody? That'll take all damn day.
And a ruling on the Clancy case.
What?
The kid with the gun.
Didn't I rule on that already?
The defense wanted to submit a psych report.
Oh, here we go.
I reviewed this case. It's not cut and dry. I think it's worth listening to what the kid has to say.
I don't know what kind of relationship you had with Judge Gray, Mr. Van Exel, but I don't indulge in ex parte communication.
Oh, yes, sir.
What I need you to do is to make the docket work. Transfer some of those custody cases. Anything. Get me out of here at a decent hour.
3 easy picks.
NASDAQ down 13 points.
Hey! In the mood for company?
Oh, thank God. I was seconds away from ordering a Buttmaster.
It doesn't work.
Did you come here to shatter my illusions?
I'm sorry I didn't make it to you yesterday.
You missed all my best tricks.
But Oreos.
Crack 'em.
So I saw your doctor in the hall. He says you'll be able to come home this week.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that. You know, since I still have to do all this therapy, I was thinking the back and forth would be a pain. I mean, it's not like I can drive.
You're supposed to, twist him open and eat the cream.
I'm brain damaged. You want to give me a break?
So what, you're just gonna stay in here?
Haven't you seen me walk? I could make it across the room in less than a decade.
Well, I think the faster you get out of here or get back to your life, the faster things will happen.
What life is that?
Your apartment. Your friends, your work.
In order to write, you have to be able to read. It's kind of tricky that way.
Well, can you dictate into a tape recorder? Have somebody type it out for you?
Amy, what are you talking about? I'm a reporter. They run around. They move fast. They think even faster.
So you're just gonna give up?
Is this the part where you give me the stirring oratory that's going to catapult me back to life?
Why are you mad at me?
Because you're doing the normal dance on me, Amy. The sooner we move on, the better we'll feel, number. It's like when Dad died.
I didn't do that.
You got married 3 months later.
The wedding was already set.
You couldn't postpone it?
Why are we talking about this?
I can't race out of the hospital and make you feel better. It takes time.
I just think the longer you stay in here, the more comfortable it is.
You think I like this?
Well, it's hard to move on. I know that.
Oh, you got divorced, so you know how this feels.
I'm not saying that.
Yes, you are. You don't know what this feels like. You can't. This isn't some kind of life choice. I didn't ask for this.
Well, you got in the van, Vincent. You got in that van. What were you thinking?
I was thinking of you.
Why do I have to choose?
Because brownies and soccer are both on Saturday, so you have to pick one.
I promised Taylor I'd be in brownies.
Good, brownies it is.
But I love soccer. I'm the best goalie.
Yeah, maybe you should do soccer. You need the exercise.
But I promised Taylor.
What about staying home on Saturdays and entertain yourself?
What does that mean?
Your child doesn't know the meaning of entertaining herself.
Ma, you're not helping.
Children these days are overly programmed.
We're doing soccer, and that's final.
Morning, all.
Morning.
I need your help. We just got the proofs back from Ned's studio portraits.
Professional pictures already? He just learned how to smile.
He's been smiling for months, Mother. Look at these. I like the one with the bear. Jillian thinks this one looks more like him.
Oh, no, I'm with you. The bear wins.
I like the bear, too.
You want to weigh in, Mom?
Oh, they're all very sweet.
You hardly looked.
Whichever one you pick will be fine. Sean, you wanted my help on the Nevins case?
Yes. And you gave it to Robert.
Well, Robert and I did a little legwork. The mother has no idea where the abuse is coming from. The child attends Roseland Preschool, where her stepfather, Mr. Phil, happens to be the music teacher. So I did a little cross-checking and found 2 other cases of abuse complaints involving the school.
Well, tell me about the cases.
One from last spring, a 5-year-old girl claimed the music teacher asked her to play grown-up games in the bathroom. The child later recanted.
Well, that's not a case.
The other one is a 3-year-old. 2 months ago, she began throwing tantrums when her mother took her to school. Said that Mr. Phil touched her too much. It gets more graphic from there.
Sounds like Mr. Phil's recurring theme. Let's remove the kid.
Just so you know, the case won't end there. The school would be implicated. This man has been working there for 10 years.
Well, McMartin was a nightmare, followed by a national witch hunt. I don't think we want to go there again.
So preschool workers have immunity now.
I didn't say that. But you have to admit it's all very vague. No one's even pressing charges.
Because no one has really followed up.
So what do you want to do?
I don't want that to be my decision.
All rise.
Mr. and Mrs. Fleming,
Be seated.
I'm surprised to see you back here. I haven't had time to appoint a guardian ad litem.
Your Honor, the Flemings were able to come to an agreement on their own.
Well, that's good news. What have you decided?
Your Honor, against my advice, my client has agreed to surrender sole physical custody to Mr. Fleming at this time.
Mrs. Fleming, are you sure about this?
Ben is right. I'm, not very well. I don't think I can care for her. Stacy needs somebody who can be there for her. Ben has always been a strong one.
Have you discussed visitation?
My client is waiving her rights.
You don't want to see your daughter at all?
I don't want her to see me.
Your Honor, Mrs. Fleming arrived at this decision on her own, and I think we're obligated to trust her judgment.
Well, yesterday you had no faith whatsoever in her judgment, counselor.
She's very depressed.
Of course she's depressed. Her son died less than a year ago. I think we're confusing grief and mental illness. We're not meant to pick up and carry on after something like that. I'm inclined to be suspicious of the fact that Mr. Fleming was able to put all this behind him so quickly.
Your Honor, this is family court, not grief counseling.
I'm sure you didn't mean to be insubordinate.
I apologize.
Well, clearly this tragedy has torn this family apart. And that's a shame. We have to do whatever we can to minimize the effect on Stacy. I'm inclined to grant temporary custody to Mr. Fleming. However, I encourage you to work out a visitation agreement between the parents, and I want to review this case again in 3 months. I need a break.
Fifteen-minute recess.
Oh, God, Bruce.
Judge Gray, your door is open.
I'm so glad to see you.
Nice chambers.
Yeah. There was a lot of structural damage to the other one. They turned into a broom closet.
Judge Salinger's docket is overloaded. He asked me to transfer a case. I thought you might have room for it.
I'm pretty backed up myself.
I understand. I'll just ask someone else.
No, maybe I can take a look at it, see if I can fit it in.
I'd appreciate it.
So how are you?
I'm fine. Fine.
Really?
Yes.
Because I feel like I'm going a little nuts. Who's your attorney?
Attorney?
Yeah, they're telling me this thing isn't going away. There's going to be a hearing.
If it happens, I'll deal with it. Thank you for doing this.
Jillian, what are you doing out this time of night?
We have to talk.
All right.
Play with him.
What?
I want you to play with your grandson.
Jillian, I would love to spend some time with you and Ned. If you give me some warning. I happen to be busy at the moment.
I want you to play with him now.
You seem to be very worked up. Would you like some chamomile tea?
Maxine, I waited all this time to be a mother, to give you a grandchild. I thought that would finally make me feel like part of this family. But now that it's happened, you're too busy. You have no interest in him. He's closer to the woman at the dry cleaners than he is to you. I mean, at least she smiles at him.
I smile at him?
You don't even look at him.
That's not true.
I'm sorry that Vincent got hurt. I really am. And God knows we all want him to get better. But life goes on. Other things happen, good things, and you can't just ignore that.
I have no intention of ignoring it.
Maybe if Ned were your own flesh and blood, things would be different. But he's my baby, Maxine. I'm his mother.
Jillian, I really can't do this right now.
Why not?
Because I can't.
Well, now is all we have.
Oh, spare me your world view. I know how fleeting everything is. I buried a husband. I damn near buried a son. I don't have the strength to worry about another person. Well, there it is. It's, not fair, but it's the truth.
You don't have to worry about Ned.
Yes, I do. He's a person, and he's related to me. 11 years ago, I kissed my husband goodbye and went to work. Then the phone rang, and he was dead. 4 months ago, the phone rang again. My son was probably not going to make it through the night. You spend years worrying and loving and understanding and interweaving your life with someone else. And it comes down to phone calls. It's such a thin tissue holding everything together. My God. It's such a terrible idea.
What is?
Having those. Oh, damn it. All right. Here we go.
Be asking.
No, it wasn't.
Mr. Clancy, would you like to tell me in your own words what happened?
No.
I understand that your attorney is advising you against speaking, but I have to tell you, I think it would help.
You're gonna do what you want to do anyhow.
Well, that's true. But I'm interested in your side of the story.
My mother lost her job. I got 3 brothers and sisters, and she don't have any help. She gets upset, and she starts talking crazy. She says she'd be better off dead. She took pills one time. I got scared when I saw the gun, so I took it.
I see.
And Mr. Owens was always saying we could tell him things. Problems at home. If we got in trouble, we could come to him. He said we could trust him.
That's your gym teacher?
Yeah.
And what happened after you told him?
He said not to worry, he'd take care of it. End of the day, I got called to the principal's office. Police were there, and they had the gun, and they took me off.
Did Mr. Owens explain the situation?
He wasn't there.
Your Honor, there have been 3 shootings in this school this year, one of which left a student dead. I think you'd have to agree that Mr. Owens acted appropriately.
Why didn't you just take the gun into the police station? You didn't think you could trust the police? You thought you could trust Mr. Owens?
Yeah.
Your Honor, this is a very touching account. But the fact is, there is a zero-tolerance policy which my office supports.
Well, I don't. I have to look at the offender as well as the offense. We can't treat all cases the same. Mr. Clancy took his teacher at his word and asked for help. He didn't get it. If we want our children to grow up in an atmosphere of honesty and trust, then we have to hold up our end of the bargain. If I refuse to exhibit any tolerance, then I'll be reinforcing Mr. Clancy's notion that people in positions of authority are not to be trusted.
Sadly, that is sometimes the case.
Well, not in my court. I'm sentencing Mr. Clancy to 1-year probation. I only wish I could order him back to school on Monday.
Sean, you wanted to see me?
Oh, Maxine, have a seat. This Nevins case. Spoke to the DA's office. They don't want to touch it. Not what we have now.
So you're going to drop it?
70% of cases like this are never even filed. You know that. To make something like this work, we need hard evidence. Police reports, doctors' testimonies, sane and cooperative parents. We would have to be proactive, and it would require a minimum of outposting with a high degree of vertical management.
Once again in English.
We'd need a team captain. One person who could organize the case and see it through.
I can't do it.
Well, then it can't be done.
Sean, you have an office full of competent social workers.
No, I don't. I have an office full of well-intentioned but underexperienced social workers. I need someone who knows the ropes and who's motivated.
I'm not motivated.
Well, sitting at your desk isn't going to make your son get better. Which is none of my business, of course. Without you, this case is going nowhere. So, like it or not, you've got a decision to make.
Judge Gray. I heard you gave Edmund Clancy probation.
That's right.
Thank you.
I also got an angry phone call from Judge Salinger. Seems he had no intention of transferring the case.
Yeah, he has some words for me, too.
Well, you'll have to answer for it.
Add to the list.
See, here's what I don't get, Bruce. You would take a chance for a kid like that you don't even know, but when it comes to our situation, you won't fight back.
What do you want me to do?
Something. Hire a lawyer.
I don't like lawyers.
I miss you.
When not prospering with the neighbors, it is wise to invade. All will profit. When one is dwelling in humility, one's goal has not yet been obtained. One might use a military operation to overrun cities and states.
Hi. Am I interrupting?
I'm reading I Ching. It's supposed to be spiritual.
I'm learning how to invade countries.
I think that's a metaphor.
Can we continue this tomorrow? You've given me a lot to think about.
Sure.
Did she say I Ching?
She thinks it's a person, like I Claudius.
Hey, Vincent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
No, listen. I've been carrying this around ever since the accident. I have been mad at you. Not for getting in the van, really. Just for being my little brother. And being vulnerable. I was mad because I love you so much. If that makes any sense. I know the whole accident was my fault.
No, come on. It was my fault.
It'd be great if it could be Mom's fault.
Yeah, let's work on that.
Samuel Beckett, The Complete Short Prose. Is this yours?
They had it in the library. I was just looking at it. I don't really understand it.
Yeah, well, it's Beckett. Nobody understands it. How long have you been able to read?
I don't know. Maybe a week?
You've been lying to everybody.
I've been avoiding the truth.
Why?
It's not that I like being a patient. I don't. But in here, everything's so simple. Clear parameters. You can't think big anymore, so you think small, and then suddenly everything seems important. Like cracks in the wall. The way the curtain moves. Pink light on the white floor. There's no such thing as an insignificant moment. It's all a gift. I
don't want to lose that.
There's no reason you have to.
What if I've been through this ordeal and then I walk out of here and nothing is different?
Well, you know what Beckett says about that.
I can't go on, I'll go on.
Read to me.
There were not many steps. I had counted them 1,000 times, both going up and coming down, but their figure has gone from my mind. Memories are killing. So you must not think of certain things, of those that are dear to you, or rather, you must think of them in your mind, little by little. That is to say, you must think of them for a while, a good while, every day, several times a day, until they sink forever in the mud. That's an order.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime. Can McCoy put away criminals, or will they beat the system? Law and Order is next on TNT.
After my divorce, I never even thought of myself as a sexual person until I met Renee. She's not much to look at. As a matter of fact, the first time I met him, I thought, those tiny little hands ain't getting anywhere near my body, pal.
Did you find the Sumner file, Patrice?
Huh? Oh, I just had it. Anyway, Renee has this thing about body hair. Oh, I'm sorry, Judge Gray. Am I going on and on about my personal life? You probably couldn't care less.
No. Of course I care about you, Patrice. I care about everyone who works with me.
It's just, I can't help but notice you never seem to reciprocate.
What do you mean?
I know very little about your personal life.
Oh. Well?
Judge Gray. Not now.
Sorry. Actually, Patrice, I do need to talk to Donna for a moment. But thank you for all the great work that you did today. Except for the lost file, which you should find when you get a chance. Or sooner.
Well, you're really getting big, aren't you?
What's this?
See for yourself.
Do I know this person?
Seems Ian's been downloading smut on company time.
Donna, I'm really not interested in anybody's personal life right now, especially Ian.
What about this? I followed Ian's cookies. Want to know how many times in the past month he signed on to anarchistguide.com? 37.
Well, I don't think that's against the law, Donna.
Well then, what if I told you he's been keeping extensive files on every judge, lawyer, and CSO in this building for the past 10 years?
He's insane.
And he's going down.
Vincent's coming home today. I want it to be stocked up.
He's coming home here?
Where else would he go?
He has an apartment.
He can barely walk.
Fine. It'll be like old times.
I won't be able to take Lauren to soccer practice this afternoon.
Why not?
Because I'm picking up your brother.
Great.
Why do you have to work every day?
So you can eat?
Charlie Wetzel's mom doesn't work at all. She stays home.
Yeah, well, maybe Charlie Wetzel's mom doesn't know how to do anything else. AP? All right, I am sure Charlie Wetzel's mom is a wonderfully talented human being.
She's a really good soccer coach.
There you go.
Do you think Vincent would like cable?
TV? Well, I don't think we should be encouraging him to stay here for a long time. I mean, don't we want him to regain his independence?
Amy, I'm not sure you're the person who should be asking that question.
Hey, come on. You know what I mean. Let's go, Lauren.
Who's taking me to soccer practice?
It's a surprise.
Why not? Bastard deserves it.
Because it's an invasion of privacy. If we take this information to Judge Faraday, we're no better than Ian.
Oh my God. You are so ethical.
Oh, believe me, I am not. I lie awake all night thinking about this, but it's just not right. But thanks anyway.
I've got a cousin in the mafia.
Donna.
I hear you.
Okay. Allison Evans, Sasha Colvin, Marissa Boswick. You think this music teacher, Mr. Phil, molested all of them?
2 of them attended the preschool where he teaches. The other one, Allison Nivens, is his stepdaughter. There does seem to be a connection, at least on the surface.
Well, look, the Nevins case is under your jurisdiction. You handle it however you want. But my department and the East Hartford PD looked into the other 2 cases and weren't impressed, and neither was the DA. I'm sorry.
Maybe I'm not making myself clear, Detective. Phil Nevins has access to hundreds of children a week. Now, there is physical evidence that his stepdaughter has been molested.
Equivocal physical evidence.
And these other children indicated that this same man touched them inappropriately.
The Colvin girl's 3. The Boswick girl recanted. Neither case is under your jurisdiction, by the way.
I understand that this isn't the most clear-cut, easy case, but I'm asking you to take another look at it.
Sorry. Can't help you. We don't have the resources to go down this road again.
There are children's lives at stake.
You don't have to tell me that. I've been doing this job for 20 years. I know a dead case when I see one.
Your Honor, we're requesting that Monica Watkins be tried as an adult. Given the impulsivity and the recklessness of the act, and the fact that she's facing a 20-year prison sentence, if tried as an adult and convicted, we feel that she's a bad risk for bail.
And, Ms. Jackson, I take it you disagree.
Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Monica Watkins is no danger to the public. She's a straight-A student with no prior record.
Well, she is accused of killing her child, Ms. Jackson. Her school record pales in comparison.
As the facts will reveal when the case is tried, Monica Watkins' actions in this tragedy were ironically maternal. She did not flush her newborn baby down the toilet or toss it into a dumpster. She sought to find an adequate caregiver by leaving the baby somewhere where she thought he'd be found. The steps of a church.
In freezing temperatures? Hardly a safe environment for a baby.
Ms. Williams, you'll have your turn.
When the news of her baby's death was publicized, Monica Watkins then voluntarily surrendered. Personal recognizance is the only reasonable option for this young woman.
All right. I'm scheduling this case for a pretrial conference, and in the interim, I'd like Ms. Watkins placed under house arrest as a condition for her pretrial release. In addition, I'd like her to wear an electronic bracelet to monitor her movements and to check in with probation twice a week.
Judge Faraday wants to see you in his chambers.
What did you do, Donna?
Nothing. Honest.
Well, it's over. We won't have to worry about the long national nightmare of the Roseland preschool case.
Cops didn't go for it?
No. That case is not going anywhere. I guess Phil Nevins is one lucky guy.
Well, at least you tried.
Yes. Now I'm going to go and pick up my son and devote myself to his care, because I can. You see, Sean, everything works out in the end.
You can see why these things are uncomfortable for everyone involved. But they are a necessary evil. I've been charged with maintaining the highest ethical standards in our district. There was no way I could ignore such serious allegations. Anyway. Well, let me get to the point. I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear that after a thorough investigation, we've decided there was insufficient evidence to support the allegations of impropriety against you two. I think we can consider the entire matter closed.
That's it?
Yep. You're free to go about your lives and forget about all this unpleasantness.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, as always. It's good to know the system works.
I guess my mother was right. I did just blow over.
That's what you call it?
I mean, we were spared the full catastrophe.
So now I guess we're grateful.
No, we're just relieved.
Well, I was doing the high protein thing, but I got all bound up, and then I tried the low fat thing, but I gained a lot of weight. So now I'm just working on intuitive eating. I'm just letting my body tell me when I'm hungry and what I should eat. I went to a psychic nutritionist. Well, I guess you've probably never been on a diet in your life.
Patrice, tell the court we're recessed for another 10 minutes.
But we've already been recessed for an hour.
Just do it. It's good to know the system works. In what way does the system work?
I beg your pardon?
For the past 3 months, I have been subjected to the gross indignity and humiliation of knowing that the entire courthouse has had reason to speculate about my relationship with Mr. Van Exel. I have been damaged by this. My reputation, my very credibility has been diminished by this so-called investigation.
Well, we do the best we can to keep these matters private, Amy, but
Not to mention the disruption in my
it
courtroom
was-
when I lost my CSO and I had to start with somebody new and not nearly as competent. And all because one petty, miserable little man decided he didn't like me because I asked him to do his damn job. Now, what amazes me is how easy it was for him to get you all on board. I don't suppose gender or ethnicity had anything to do with it.
What do you want, Judge Gray?
I want my reputation back. I want my CSO back. And an apology would be nice. In writing.
It always happened at the bus stop. You wait till there were no grown-ups around, then you start calling us names, using the F word. If we didn't give Eli our money right away, he'd kick us in our... Can I say nuts? One time, he hit Danny in the face with his bike chain because Danny didn't have any money.
And how much money did you usually give to Mr. Grubbs?
$2.
He threatened to break their legs if they told anyone.
Your Honor, we object. Mr. Grubbs has pled guilty to larceny, not to assault with intent to maim.
Eli showed no ammo on his knife and said he killed a dog with it.
I don't even own a knife, butt wipe.
That's enough, Mr. Grubbs. You may sit down. So, Mr. Grubbs, why did you take these boys' money?
They gave it to me.
Stand when you address the judge.
Look, it's not my fault they're wimps. All right? They wanted protection. It was their idea.
So you didn't regularly threaten Jacob and Danny and then assault them when they didn't give you their money?
Nope.
That's a total lie!
Settle down, Mr. Thacker. Mr. Beck, Mr. Grubbs may have pled guilty to larceny, but he could have been charged with extortion, armed robbery, or worse. These are serious charges. Do you want to add anything before I rule?
Your Honor, my client's parents have been in the middle of a contentious divorce for the last 6 months. He's under stress. If he and these boys have interpersonal issues, maybe we could mandate Mr. Grubbs use a different bus route.
Thank you, Mr. Beck. But I had a different notion. Young man, you have terrorized these young boys and created an unsafe environment on the bus. You are what we call, in legal terms, a bully, Mr. Grubbs, and I won't tolerate it. Yeah, before you find this so amusing, you should know that I'm committing you to DCF for 60 days.
Stand up, sir.
What?
Everything on the dot.
I don't believe this. I didn't even do anything. God.
Yeah, I understand you're upset, Mr. Grubbs. You should be. But I'm hoping the time served will be productive. I don't want to see you in this courtroom again. All right, this court is adjourned until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And my cheese. is in here. So, it's pretty cool, huh? Your old mom's really a judge.
Why were you so mean to that boy?
What boy?
The one who was crying.
I wasn't mean to him.
Is that guy gonna be mad at you now?
Well, Lauren, he hurt some other kids. He has to have consequences for his behavior.
What if he tries to hurt you?
He won't.
I guess you make a lot of people mad.
Yeah, I probably do.
Do you have to do this job every day?
Yeah, it's the kind of job you gotta do every day.
Maxine, you make sure he does those exercises every day. Dr. Vargas said he could be jogging by Christmas if he's a good boy and sticks with the program.
I'll make sure he's a good boy.
No, don't baby him. That's not what he needs. He needs discipline.
Please, Nora, not in front of my mother.
Thank you.
God, it's fall already. I've forgotten what that feels like.
Charlie Wetzel's mom is the real mother.
I know.
Why can't you ever be the real mother?
You know why? It's because I work.
You never even drive for a field trip.
That is not true. Remember that time we went to the grocery store and we all stood around in the meat freezer?
It was kindergarten.
Well, next time you go on a field trip, just give me fair warning and I'll drive, okay?
We're going to the pumpkin patch on Friday.
This Friday? I can't do it this Friday, sweetie, but I promise I will drive you on a field trip this year. Just give me a list or something.
Charlie Wetzel's mom drives on all the field trips. She has a van.
Yeah, well, I'd like to take a look inside Charlie Wetzel's mom's medicine cabinet.
Come on, ladies, let's go. Good job. Let's see you dribble.
Mom, they're already doing drills.
Okay, well, let's hustle.
I don't want to go. Everyone's going to be staring at me.
No, they won't. Come on, here, take your vest off. Okay, go.
Ladies, get your own balls. Come on. Oh, way to go, Jesse. Come on, keep your eye on the ball. All right, everybody, squirtle. All right, come on, ladies. Great job. Looking good. It's going to be a really long season.
Amy? Lolly?
Oh, my God. Lauren's yours?
You're Charlie Wetzel's mom?
Yeah.
Wow.
Does she always move around that much?
Oh, it's the onions. Do you know what kind of music she likes? Led Zeppelin. Specifically, Houses of the Holy.
No kidding.
Yep. She's Mama's little metalhead.
Donna, maybe we should give Vincent a chance to get a little rest.
Oh, okay, sure. Sorry.
Mom, I'm not tired. I've been lying in bed for the past 3 months.
Vincent, cable TV. Whoa! And the baby monitor.
What's that for?
Well, this is so that I can hear you, and if you need me, you don't have to holler.
Great idea, Maxine.
I have absolutely no masculinity issues with that at all.
What do you want to watch? Hey, 24-hour news?
Thanks.
There's the cooking channel.
Vincent walked up the stairs all by himself today.
Wow. Surgery channel. Seems to be some sort of facelift happening here.
Mom, I don't think anybody's watching.
Oh, look at this. The Wild Animal Channel. Some idiot wrestling an alligator. Good God. Oh, they have a channel for everything.
I think we've lost her.
Yeah.
Nonsense. You want mashed potatoes or scalloped?
I don't care.
I'll make both. Donna? Coming?
See you guys later.
Is Mom driving you crazy?
No, she's great.
No? How can you say that? Right.
What's Lolly doing these days?
Being a mom? I don't know. I haven't seen her since high school graduation when she and Janie Shooten got so stoned they fell off the bleachers. I guess I heard she got pregnant in college.
What's stoned?
It's a slang term for
grown-up talk. You forgot to carry the one.
I'm gonna give you your bottle now, Nettie. It's 50% soy formula and 50% distilled water.
Does he really understand what you're saying to him?
Oh, of course not. But the sound of my voice has meaning to him. Lets him know that I'm caring for him and considering his needs.
I see.
We read a book about it. It's changed the way we do everything.
You know, I'm gonna have to get a babysitter, Mom. And I can't have my CSO chauffeuring Lauren every time you have stuff to do.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
I hate babysitters.
I can't imagine leaving Ned with a stranger.
It wouldn't be a stranger. It'd be a babysitter.
What do you plan on doing with Ned when you go back to work, Jillian?
I've thought about not going back to work.
What?
Why not?
You want me to pick him up?
No, thank you, Donna. It's important that he learns to self-comfort.
When did you decide this?
Well, I haven't completely decided.
Maybe he has a little gas.
Maybe he wants a babysitter.
He's fine.
I don't think it's a good idea, you being a full-time mom.
Why not?
Because you'd be insane, and you'd hate it, and we'd want to kill each other.
We're like that now.
We'd be like that more.
Peter, if Jillian wants to stay at home...
Mother, this is none of your business.
Well, I'm going to have a big problem with a babysitter. I can tell you that right now. I think that people who let paid employees raise their kids are asking for real trouble later on. No offense, Amy.
Jillian, I deal with abused kids all day long, and believe me, having a babysitter is not the worst thing that can happen to a kid.
Yes, it is. Remember Brenda?
Hey, Lauren, you're not in this.
I'm not saying that I'm the expert on this. I just...
Maybe Jillian's right. I mean, they are only babies for a little while. How could we hand them to someone who couldn't possibly love them as much as we do?
Oh, for God's sake, it's not brain surgery. Babies cry because they need to be held. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. Mom, why are these containers labeled AM snack, PM snack, light lunch, and heavy lunch?
They're for your brother. I just want to be sure he has something to eat while I'm at work.
And all these little glasses of juice.
Amy, I would do the same thing for you if you'd almost been blown up by a madman.
Oh my God! Oh my God! It's people! Soylent Green is people!
Here, I'm late. Take this to your brother, so I won't have to kill him.
Why do you do this? You're so stupid, stupid, stupid. Oh, and let's not forget.
Breakfast from the Ayatollah. Shoes. Now.
Thanks.
What are your plans for the day?
Couple Jackie Chan movies in the New York Times.
Good. That should take you to lunch.
Now it's Wednesday. The puzzle's getting harder.
What does your editor say?
About what?
When he wants you back.
Whenever I'm ready. This is making you crazy, isn't it?
What?
The fact that I'm not crazy, just sitting here.
I just want to see you get well.
I am.
I mean, like before.
I wasn't all that well before. Amy, things are never going to be exactly the same.
I'd settle for similar.
No, you wouldn't.
Judge Gray! Judge Gray, it's okay. I'll wait. Don't worry.
He's back. He's back.
Bruce. It's not that I dislike Patrice, although she is an unctuous snob with a mean streak a mile long. I just like the way Bruce runs a courtroom.
Patrice, if you found my job performance dissatisfactory, Judge Gray, I wish you would have told me.
I think I better...
Patrice.
I have never been fired before. I worked for Judge Dinkelspiel until the day he died.
You're not being fired. You're being transferred.
To Judge Salinger's court. I hate Judge Salinger.
Well, I'm sorry, Patrice. I had no idea. Look, Bruce Van Exel was my first CSO, and I feel very comfortable with him. We have a kind of, shorthand.
Yes. So I've heard.
I haven't heard about a grandmother.
Are you Maxine Gray?
Is she willing to take him or not? Just excuse me, just a moment. Yes, I'm still here. All right. Well, let me know about it by the end of today. Now, who are you?
Harriet Stewart. I understand you're handling the Roseland preschool case.
Well, I was, but there doesn't seem to be much of one left. Remind me of how you're involved.
Do you remember a little girl named Marissa Boswick?
The 5-year-old who recanted him.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I can't seem to find anyone else who will tell me what's going on. My social worker told me to talk to you.
I don't understand, Miss
Stewart.
Stewart. Sit down. Why do you have a social worker?
Because of Marissa. I'm her foster mother. I thought you knew that.
Marissa is in the system?
Since she was 2. I want to adopt her. I was trying to do something good by sending her to Roseland. They gave her a scholarship and everything. I know something happened to her at that school, Miss Gray. She recanted her story because she was scared. Can you help me?
Maybe. Maybe.
All rise.
There's been a scheduling change. First up is the Watkins change of plea.
Hello, might be nice.
The Grover paternity case has been continued until tomorrow. Hello.
All right. I have accepted the defendant Monica Watkins' change of plea in this case, and I'm aware that the parties haven't agreed upon a recommendation for my consideration.
That is correct.
Your Honor, as a part of the agreement, the state has dropped its initial request to have Miss Watkins tried on the crime of manslaughter as an adult.
Okay, Ms. Watkins, before I'm going to accept your plea, I have to make sure that you understand the significance of the legal rights that you're giving up. How old are you?
15.
And have you taken any medication for any condition that might affect your ability to understand what I'm saying to you?
No.
Okay. Now, in giving up the right to a trial, you are giving up the right to cross-examine and to tell your side of the story. In admitting to this offense, you are, in fact, testifying against yourself and giving up the right against self-incrimination, the right to remain silent, and the right to a trial. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand what you've been accused of. You're admitting to the offense of manslaughter. Are you responsible for the death of your baby?
Yes.
Why?
I left him out in the cold. I thought someone would find him, but they didn't.
Right, I understand that, but I'm just wondering why you thought that was your only option.
I was so scared. I didn't tell anyone I was pregnant because I knew that my dad would be really disappointed in me. I thought that if I went to one of those clinics, they'd call my parents. I didn't know what else to do. And then later, afterwards, I just wanted someone else to take care of it. The church seemed like a place where people like babies. I don't know why nobody found him. I put him right there on the front steps. I wrapped him in the Afghan that my grandma made me for Christmas. Somebody should have seen him. I didn't want him to die. I just didn't want to have a baby.
Ms. Watkins, has anyone forced you or pressured you to change your plea in this case?
No. No.
Okay. Well, at this point, I will accept the defendant's change of plea in this case, having found that she has made her decision voluntarily without threat or coercion. We'll reconvene this first thing tomorrow morning to continue the sentencing hearing in this case. Okay. So what is it?
What?
What's the problem?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How about the fact that you haven't said more than 2 words to me all day?
I'm sorry. What did you want me to say?
Glad to be back, or thanks would be a good start.
I gotta go, Judge Gray.
Bruce, wait. I don't understand this. I just wanted things back the way they were. I thought you wanted the same thing.
Well, it's not like anyone ever asked me now, is it?
Well, you don't want to work with Judge Salinger. He's an idiot.
How do you know what I want?
I know at the very least you want to be treated with respect.
Well, do you think it's any more empowering to be ordered back to your courtroom than to be taken out of it? Right.
Let's go! Kick it out! Kick it out!
Don't push the ball with your foot. Kick it!
All right, defense! Center the ball! Good try, team!
What are you guys called again?
Firebolts of the universe.
Nice try! Firebolts of the universe!
Okay, ladies, let's go! Hey, all right, shake it off!
God!
Back in the game, come on!
Mom, they're creaming us. No, you guys are doing great.
Janelle, come on! The ball is that way!
Go get it. Go get it! Don't just sit there. Get the damn ball!
Mr. Pratt, no coaching from the sidelines, please. Okay, come on, you guys!
This coach is a disaster. These kids don't know the first thing about this game. She's not even telling them when they're screwing up.
Come on, they're only 7 years old.
And so?
So they don't need to be berated by a coach or anybody else.
Well, maybe that's why we're the worst team in the league. These kids couldn't win a game if their lives depended on it.
Hey, that's the spirit.
Yeah!
That's why they shouldn't have women coaches. They don't know the first thing about competition.
Janelle, fix your hair later.
Oh, really? And what do you know about coaching?
Well, I know you've got to instill the competitive spirit.
Why? So that they can make an idiot of themselves someday at their kid's soccer game?
You know what? I'm just a dad trying to spend a little quality time with my kid.
Quality time? If this is your idea of quality time, Mr. Pratt, I would start your kid's therapy fund now.
Hey.
Yeah!
Who are you to talk about my kid? What makes you such an expert on parenting? This is the first game I've even seen you at.
And what are you, the hall monitor? How many games I come to is none of your business.
Oh, it
Every
is.
day I see guys like you, abusive, controlling sons of bitches who would rather destroy your family than admit when they're completely lost.
That's enough. Come on.
You're a piece of work, lady. You know that?
I'll never be able to show my face on that soccer field again.
Oh, come on, Amy.
I was a lunatic. I looked like I needed to be sedated.
Well, there was hardly any foam around your mouth. Oh, look, it needed to be said. Curtis Pratt is an ass, and everybody knows it.
I don't normally go around picking fights with strange men. I just having an off day. I got Lawrence with her father tonight. I mean, I didn't mean that.
Sure you did. I don't blame you.
It's just so hard when you work because you have to stop being professional and then start being a mom. And that sounded really condescending. I didn't mean that. I mean, you being a stay-at-home mom, I'm sure you're great at it.
Amy, by the end of the day, I practically hate my kids. If Nick didn't come home from work at 6, I'm pretty sure they'd all be dead by now.
But you're having all that quality time. You're doing art projects and driving them on field trips.
Yeah, but what good does it do? It's not like they respect me more for staying at home. They're not coming up to me saying, hey, thanks for being there, Ma. I mean, face it. They grow up, they think you're stupid, and then they move away. But at least when your kids come home to hit you up for money, you'll have some.
Okay, your lunch is in your backpack, and your homework is in your folder.
Can I have $1 for the drink machine?
I only have change.
Do you think Aunt Joanne would let me bring the baby for show and tell sometime?
I doubt it. Hey, Lauren. Do you know why I work?
To make money so you can buy clothes and toys for me and send me to college one day.
Right, that's one reason. But I also work because I love my job. I get to help mommies and daddies and kids all day long, and it makes me feel good. And one day, I hope you have a job that makes you feel just as good.
What's black and white and red all over?
What?
A zebra with a sunburn. Do you think that's funny?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Bye, baby. This has not been an easy case. I've struggled over what is fair in these circumstances. While this was clearly an impulsive act on the part of an immature adolescent, I cannot ignore the fact that a baby is dead. Hundreds of babies are dumped every year because little girls like Monica Watkins are not prepared to be mothers. Being a parent is an awesome, sometimes terrifying responsibility. Most of us just try to do the best we can. The best Monica Watkins thought she could do was to wrap her baby in a blanket and place him on the steps of a church where he died of exposure. I think we can all agree that she failed as a mother. Her best wasn't good enough. But do we lock her up until she's an adult because of that failure? Ms. Watkins, could you please stand? I'm committing you to Long Lane for 4 years. However, I am suspending that sentence, and I'm placing you on probation until the age of 18. During that period of probation, you are to serve 500 hours of community service at a local daycare center.
Your Honor, we agreed to drop our request to try her as an adult, subject to her agreement to committed juvenile time.
Well, I understand your frustration, Ms. Williams, but respectfully, I'm not bound by that agreement. And while I note your objection to the sentence I have just imposed, I do stand by it. Ms. Watkins, you are also to participate in long-term therapy as deemed appropriate by probation. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You said the Roseland thing was over.
Marissa Boswick is in the foster care system. She's one of ours. That means we have 2 linked sexual abuse allegations involving Phil Nevins under our jurisdiction. Now we can really start. If we get enough hard evidence, the police are going to have to revisit.
And you're going to take that on?
Yes, I am.
Won't that put you back in the trenches?
Temporarily.
What about your son?
One of the best things that I did for my children when they were young was go to work and give them a break from me. I believe that rule still applies.
Vincent, what are you doing up? What's wrong?
Onions. I'm chopping.
Why?
I wanted to make an omelet.
But you don't cook, and you shouldn't be up.
I'm fine. It's kind of fun. This cooking thing. I never thought about it before. All these colors and smells, textures. It's like 3-dimensional art.
You want a three-dimensional beer?
No, thanks. I don't want to lose my edge.
What did you do today?
Watched a pretty good movie. Good Will Hunting. You ever see that one?
Vincent, we sat together. We laughed so hard they almost threw us out of the theater.
We did?
Yes! You said Matt Damon had more moles than the KGB.
I know it was kind of sappy and sentimental, but there's a little bit of wisdom in that.
No, there wasn't.
Maybe I'm not as critical as I used to be. My standards are lower.
Yeah, all part of the brain damage, I'm sure. You're scaring me.
Amy, I came very close to dying. Did you think that wouldn't have an impact on me? I keep on telling you this, but you never seem to hear me. I'm not the same person.
And I don't know what you mean by that. You've lost your taste in movies? You don't like beer anymore? What about ambition? You still have that?
Not the way you're thinking about it. I don't care if I ever won the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah, right.
Name the person who won it this year.
Jhumpa Lahiri.
Last year. That drive for external validation. If that's ambition, then yeah, I suppose that's gone. I finally get it. Everything is an inside job. I can't control the universe. I can only control my reaction to it.
You've been watching Oprah.
No.
The Learning Channel?
It's just something I know.
Oh, don't do this to me. People say this kind of thing in between deodorant commercials. They don't actually live this way. Vincent, it's nonsense. There are things we can control, and we should control.
Like jobs and children? Has that worked for you? If it has, then hey, keep on doing it. This is my epiphany. You know what? On second thought, I'll take that beer.
Oh, thank God.
Hello, is this Rebecca Nevins? Miss Nevins, I'm Maxine Gray with the Department of Children and Families in Hartford. How are you tonight? Good. Miss Nevins, are you the Rebecca Nevins who was formerly married to Philip Nevins? You are. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
Here's the thing. Since you transferred, my courtroom has been a disaster. I'm drowning in paperwork, I can't get through my cases, and I haven't had a good laugh in ages. It's just not a lot of fun.
Do you want to come inside?
No. What I have to say will only take a minute. You are the best CSO there is, Bruce. And selfishly, that's why I wanted you back in my courtroom. I'm sorry I didn't ask you what you wanted. The past 3 months have been profoundly unsettling for both of us, and I certainly understand if you feel the need to move on. I will support you in whatever you want to do. That's it. I'm gonna go now.
Judge Gray. Thank you.
That thank you? Is that thank you and I want to come back? Or, look, forget I said that. Just decide what you want and let me know.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime. Will a teenager be found guilty when a classmate is killed? Don't miss the drama of Judging Amy. Next on TNT.
Previously on Judging Amy.
Why don't you and Lauren come over for dinner tomorrow night, and you can meet Nick and the kids, and I'll cook something awful as usual.
I just want 5 minutes of Amy's time.
They're not gonna let that happen, Russell.
I just wanted things back the way they were. I thought you wanted the same thing.
Well, it's not like anyone ever asked me now, is it?
Amy, I came very close to dying. Did you think that wouldn't have an impact on me? I'm not the same person. Hey, I would have brought you peace to your cave. I know how you abhor the huddled masses.
I don't want you to strain yourself.
Welcome back, Vincent. We missed you.
Hey, thank you.
Angela, copy editor. The man approaching you with the scowl, your boss.
Him, I remember.
Good God, Vincent. Our leader is cakeless. Heads will roll.
Ignore him. He's upset over the possibility of peace in Ireland.
Yeah, well, welcome back, Gray. All things considered, your memoirs are coming along very nicely.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, look, I'm eager to get writing again.
Hey, you just got out of the hospital like 5 minutes ago. Why don't you take it easy? I think you should do a story on rising gas prices across the country. I want you to make some calls.
Len, come on. I'm not a cub anymore. Give me something.
Vincent? Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt your party. I didn't realize you'd be celebrating.
Well, I'm sorry. My memory's a little off.
Phyllis Younger, Russell's mother.
Oh my God, I didn't recognize you. It's been a long time. I'm so sorry about Russell.
I thought you might come to see me. I thought you might have something to say to me. You were the last one to see him. I want to know what happened that day, what you said to him.
I don't remember.
I didn't raise Russell to hurt anybody. Someone owes me an explanation.
Mrs. Younger, it's called traumatic amnesia. I honestly don't remember most of that day. Just bits and pieces.
Well, that's more than I have.
But we see it as a racially motivated overreaction to a perceived attack. The defendant, Gregory Docks, in his rage, brutally beat to death Kelvin Duncan, an unarmed African-American teenager.
Your Honor, I don't
who
see
he
how
went-
skin color is relevant.
This was a racially motivated crime, plain and simple. It would appear to be one of the more heinous attacks I've seen in my career.
My client merely defended himself when attacked on the schoolyard by Kelvin Duncan.
And the fact remains that after weeks of being bullied, Kelvin Duncan finally defended himself.
Gentlemen, speak to me, not to each other.
Your Honor, there is no evidence that Kelvin Duncan was being bullied. In fact, it was he that called my client out to fight that day.
That's enough. These issues will be played out at trial. Right now, we're here to determine where that trial will take place, in juvenile or criminal court.
Let's face it, if Kelvin Duncan had been white, this case wouldn't have even been filed.
I said that's enough. We're going to adjourn until all parties can conduct themselves in a composed manner.
Guess who? Let me see. Sophia.
Hey, how did you know?
Finely honed intuition coupled with unqualified brilliance. I felt the bracelet that I gave you when you went back to school.
Well, you're still pretty smart.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's good. I'm graduating this year, working part-time, and I got a boyfriend.
Good.
I'm pregnant. Now, don't get that look. I'll still go to college, just not next year.
But,
Really, Maxine, I'm happy about this. I mean, Craig's a good guy. He's funny, he's smart, he's
Smart
got
guys
this...
don't get their underage girlfriends pregnant. How could you let this happen? Weren't you using anything?
Yeah, sometimes. We thought we were safe because he's on the swim team. He said chlorine kills sperm. So what are you thinking of naming your baby?
Ariadne or Declan. But I still need middle names.
What if it's a boy?
Declan is a boy's name.
Oh. Elvis Costello's real name.
Well, I didn't have enough candles, but that's what you get for being married so long.
Mom.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, Maxine, that's so nice of you. You remembered.
Well, I know you like pecan pie.
Ready?
Wow. So how long is it, you guys? 14?
15.
Feels a lot longer. I mean in a good way.
What are you guys doing to celebrate?
I guess we're doing that now.
No, you have to do something together. Alone, a couple's evening.
Well, those days are over for a while. Right, Daddy?
Well, they are if you keep calling me Daddy. It's a romance killer if there ever was one. Oh, come on, honey. I'm joking. And I think Mom is right. We should have an evening alone together.
I'm not ready. I mean, to leave Ned with the sitter.
Hey, Jillian, I don't like to get into people's stuff, but... No, well, outside the courtroom. Okay, I do like it, but I'm trying not to do it.
Just say it.
You guys need to take care of yourselves as a couple. That's in Ned's best interest, too. You don't want to, find out the hard way.
Well, we'll have to get a babysitter.
What?
Me.
Oh.
I need the practice. You don't think I could do it?
No, I'm sure you could. I just...
What?
Honey, it's one evening. 2 hours.
Cool. You and me, Nedley.
The facts speak for themselves. Kelvin Duncan was trying to walk away from the fight when Gregory Docks punched him, sending him crashing to the ground. This cruel, excessive show of force resulted in Kelvin Duncan's death. Now, I don't see that this court has any recourse other than to transfer this case to adult court.
What's going on here?
Please excuse my tardiness. I am the Reverend Del Mueller.
I know who you are, Reverend. What's your business in my court?
Your Honor, I'm a member of the Connecticut Bar, and as such...
Well, first of all, as a member of the bar, you should realize you have no standing in this court. As far as I know, you haven't filed an appearance or been designated as a prosecutor in this case.
Your Honor, I am Kelvin Duncan's father, and I've asked the Reverend to be here with our family.
Well, Reverend, as you know, these proceedings are normally closed, but I will allow you to sit with the family as a spiritual advisor. However, I am aware of your affection for the spotlight, and I'm warning you that I will not allow you to turn this into a feeding frenzy for the media. So please take a seat. The decision of this court is not influenced by sensationalist tactics or newspaper headlines, but by full consideration of the law, juvenile law. There is a reason we are a separate entity. The unique circumstances surrounding juvenile crime can and will be taken into account here, as well as the nature of the offender. Now, Gregory Docks has no criminal record, and the credible psychological evidence suggests that his personality has not yet been fully formed. Therefore, it is this court's decision that Gregory Docks' case be heard here, in juvenile court.
It is because of decisions like this that thousands of black men all across this country will lose their lives to vicious, racist attacks.
Deputy, can you please escort all parties from this courtroom as the proceedings are now concluded? Thank you.
America has given the Negro people a bad check, which has come back marked insufficient funds. But we refuse to accept that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. Stay out the hall, please. Excuse me.
Rocky Road?
Not the most fun I've ever had.
No, I mean ice cream. Tofuti, actually. Want some? you want to watch something else? Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. I rented it to celebrate you moving back home.
No thanks.
I was thinking, since Oscar's mom can't throw me a baby shower, for obvious reasons, I thought maybe we could have it here.
Good. Can we choose the color scheme and party games another time?
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. I'm doing an intervention.
What?
Watching yourself get blown up over and over, that's not therapeutic.
I'm trying to remember what happened, what Russ and I talked about. What?
I hope you're not blaming yourself. He was crazy, Vincent. He was cuckoo.
He was a friend of mine.
I'm sorry. Weren't the cops listening to you guys?
I wasn't wearing a wire.
Yeah, but they would have used parabolic mics, so there'd be tapes. I watch cop shows.
What do you mean, no?
No. The opposite of consent. This Roseland preschool case is heating up, and I need you to focus on that. I can't have you setting up a sidebar.
It's my own time. I'll be doing it in my own home, after hours.
I don't care whose time it's on. I don't want you teaching a birth control class.
Why not?
Because it's a very tricky subject as far as the federal government is concerned.
Sean, do you have any idea how much teenage mothers and their babies cost this state each year?
Yes, I have that figure somewhere. But the fact is, our federal grant mandates that we can teach abstinence only. Now, you don't need to organize a special gathering to say that, do you?
Teaching abstinence doesn't work, period. As long as these young people are going to indulge in adult behavior, it might behoove them to know some little things, like chlorine does not kill sperm.
Maxine.
I am sick to death of watching children throw their lives away for lack of information. Whatever happened to sex education in schools?
The Welfare Reform Act of 1996.
Well, it's a travesty, Sean, and it's our job to do something about it.
I have to say, it's nice to see your enthusiasm has returned. You can teach the class. But I'm warning you, Maxine, shoot down all the old wives' tales you want. But the bottom line is abstinence. Is that clear?
Of course.
In plain and simple terms, Your Honor, the defendant refuses to take no for an answer. The victim, Michelle Taggart, has rejected his advances time and again. He sends her letters, puts notes in her lunchbox, writes her name on his clothes, calls her 10 times a day. He even created a website dedicated to her.
How old are these children?
They're both 11, Your Honor.
Mr. Chaskin, can I assume that the school has already dealt with Christopher Sweeney?
Yes, Your Honor. He has been suspended from school for a week.
Yet he continues to follow her around the neighborhood.
Your Honor, they live on the same block. Now, when Christopher goes out to ride his bike, Michelle's mother calls the police. Now, is this boy supposed to become a shut-in?
Well, that's what Michelle has become. She's afraid to leave her house. Now, let's call this for what it is, a clear case of stalking. And in this state, stalking is a criminal offense.
Ms. Lewis, we're talking about an 11-year-old boy.
That makes no difference.
Of course it does.
He's terrorizing an innocent girl.
He's sending her love notes. This is not stalking. This is what we call a crush, Ms. Lewis. Now, I have had a long day, and I've heard a lot of inflammatory rhetoric, and I am in no mood to have a simple case of puppy love be turned into a capital offense. The juvenile court system exists so that children may receive appropriate treatment under the law, and sometimes that means not making a mountain out of a molehill. Christopher Sweeney is not violent. He has been suspended from school for his behavior. That means he's lost a week of education and socialization. I think that's punishment enough.
But what assurance do we have that he's going to leave this girl alone?
Christopher, do you promise to leave Michelle alone? Because if you don't, I'm not going to be so nice about it the next time. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your assurance, counselor. The defendant is released on the condition that he has no contact with the complaining witness.
Abstinence. Tell me what it means.
Not doing it?
Exactly right. Not doing it. And it's the type of birth control we're going to talk about tonight. So, let's all think of some ways a boy and a girl can avoid engaging in sex. Does anyone have any ideas? All right, let's Let's see what's recommended. Seriously commit to your decision to be abstinent. Avoid movies, TV shows, music, and conversations that dwell on or remind you of sex. Beware of back rubs. Back rubs, huh? Keep your clothes on. I guess that's obvious, isn't it? So, let's think of some things you can do with your boyfriend instead of having sex.
Watch TV.
Good. Watch TV.
Eat.
All right. So, instead of having sex, you could be eating and watching TV. How many of you are virgins?
Kinda. So, if there's an emergency, God forbid, don't call Northeast Hospital. I know they're closer, but they put you on hold before even asking the nature of your call. Call Blue Hills. They're very, very helpful, even if it's just to tell you you're doing fine.
You have our car phone and our cell phone numbers, right, Donna?
They're on page 4 under communications.
Right.
Okay, come on, Jill. We're gonna get going. 7 o'clock reservation. Oh, and Donna, when you get a chance, take a look at the map of all the fire extinguishers and exits in the house.
Check. And I've got Ned's schedule. As a matter of fact, if you'll excuse us, Ned and I have an appointment with some mashed banana.
Okay. Nettie, Mommy, and Daddy are gonna go out for a nice adult dinner, and we'll be back around 10:30. Donna's gonna take really, really, really good care of you.
See you later, buddy. Be a man.
Okay.
Okay, we're really going now. Bye, Donna.
Bye-bye. See you soon. Thank you, Donna. And if you need anything, call.
It's not just that you were Soch. It's that you were so gung-ho.
What? I didn't feel gung-ho.
Oh, come on. You were sophomore class president. You were on the debate team. You were track star. I think you moved from clique to clique like a politician.
Yeah, well, I remember you getting stoned in that alley behind the VOAG building with Janie Schutten. You weren't exactly engaging in social debate.
Well, we were nihilists. I mean, we were listening to the Sex Pistols and dyeing our hair green.
And that was better?
It was cooler.
Charlie says I have to play Clue Junior because I'm the guest and have to do what he says.
Was there a compromise game?
You tell Charlie that I said if he isn't a good host, he's going to be speaking without teeth.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if there's anything I like better than a pretty woman cooking my dinner, it's 2 pretty women cooking my dinner. Hey.
Hey, babe. Amy, this is Nick. Nick, this is my old pal, Amy.
Doesn't look old to me. She looks just right.
It's nice to meet you, Nick.
Nice shoes. Donna Karen?
Yeah, I think.
Nick's in retail.
Really?
Yeah. Elegant Threads on Bove and Afton. Come on down sometime. I'll give you a 10% discount. When's dinner?
Any minute.
I don't know what that means. An hour and a half. Hey, knuckleheads, I'm home. I need kisses.
He seemed taller when I married him.
There's a boy, Nettie. Well, it's not so bad now, is it? Huh? All right, I know. It's a terrible thing. Oh, here we go. Hey, what do you have here? Some mashed banana. Hey, there we go. No. Okay, Ned. Here's something you don't know about me. I survived basic training in South Carolina at 95-degree temperature, huh? So this crying thing, it ain't gonna work. I bet your match, kid. I don't know, but I've been told the latchkey pant is strong and bold. Sound off, 1, 2, sound off, 3, 4, hit again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know.
He was so cute in the bathtub today. He was splashing and laughing. He really loves the water.
He's going to be a swimmer. He's a natural. You know, we ought to look into some lessons soon. Babies can swim. I learned to swim when I was 1.
Oh, I don't know, Peter. I heard you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to give them swim lessons until they're 4.
Really? That's crazy.
You think I should call Donna?
We just left. She's going to feel like we don't trust her. Besides, I have a surprise for you.
What?
I booked us a suite at the Brook Street Inn tonight.
Tonight?
Yep. Just you and me, a fireplace, and a little room service.
You mean spend the night?
Yeah, it's our anniversary. Oh, hey, come on, don't worry. I planned the whole thing. Donna doesn't expect us home till noon tomorrow.
Peter, are you crazy? I don't want to spend the night anywhere. My God, Ned's only 4 months old, and Donna doesn't know the first thing about taking care of a baby.
You left her 25 pages of instructions. How could she not know? Besides, he'll be asleep most of the time anyhow.
I can't believe you did this without asking me.
Call me stupid, but I thought you might like to spend a romantic night alone with your husband on your anniversary.
Oh, so that's what this is about? Sex?
No, it's not about sex, but what's wrong with sex? It has been a while.
We had a baby.
We didn't actually have a baby.
Okay, fine. You want sex? We can have sex. Meet me in the parking lot. We can be back in time for dessert.
Jillian, I was actually hoping we could spend a little time together.
We spend time together every day.
But without the baby. Don't get me wrong. I love Ned more than anything. But I miss you, Jill. I miss our marriage. I thought it would be a nice thing.
It would be nice, Peter. I just need a little time to adjust. Can't you understand that? We've been together for 15 years. I've only been Ned's mother for a few months. I know I'm nervous about it, high-strung even. I just want to do it right. I don't want to let anyone down.
It says in my instruction book you like music and dancing. We're an American band. We're an American band. We're coming to your town, help you party down. We're an American band. Oh, you're a rock and roll baby, aren't you? You. How about something else? Let's try something else on for size, huh? Oh, that's not... I know how you feel. I feel that way too. Look, we just gotta stay cool. Mommy and Daddy are counting on us, okay? Oh, look, your favorite book.
But wait, why do you have to take a pill every day if you're not having sex every day?
Fallopian tubes, named after Dr. Gabriel Fallopius, a man. Girls, the truth of the matter is that men are all over your sex organs, and they always have been. Now, once a month, an egg is expelled from your ovary during ovulation and travels down one of these tubes.
Why do we need to know this stuff? Just give us some condoms so we can go home.
I followed all the instructions. I did everything they told me to do, and he just kept crying and crying and crying.
Donna, go wait in the kitchen, get yourself a glass of water, and I'll be in a moment. Okay. Oh, the baby. Oh, man. There he is. Ladies, this is Ned. Now, who wants to learn about ovulation?
So, Amy, you're a judge, huh?
Yep. Juvenile and Family Matters.
Amy's the youngest judge in Hartford.
I was at law school for a semester.
Really?
Yeah, waste of time. Just a lot of memorization. I mean, no one thinking for themselves. I was not cut out to be a lawyer, too independent-minded. I bet I would have made a very good judge, don't you think, Lal?
I don't know, hon. You do seem to have a lot of opinions.
I'm always handling disputes between the gals at work. I'm a good listener. I'm a real good people manager. So tell me this. Why don't you judges ever sentence anyone to the death penalty around here? I mean, why is it on the books if we're not using it?
Well, Nick, it's a complicated issue, and I'm really not supposed to express my political beliefs outside the courtroom.
I can tell she's a lawyer. Bobbing and weaving, bobbing and weaving. It's okay, Judge. I'll let you off the hook.
No, but for the record, as a juvenile court judge, my job is to try to protect the public by helping kids, not
Well, some
punishing
kids are
them.
beyond help.
Well,
I know. I grew up in Hell's Kitchen. They were tough then. They're even tougher now.
But we're talking about children, Nick. We're
Who
not
are
talking-
committing adult crimes and therefore should be punished as adults. Amy knows what I'm talking about. She sees this every day. It's like an epidemic.
It's not that bad.
How would you know? They haven't read a newspaper in 10 years.
Why should you read a newspaper with you around, Nick? You obviously know everything. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Peter.
Looks like they had a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we ought to wake Don up and get Ned to bed.
Let's let them sleep.
Sleep is good.
Let me get this straight, Mr. Dox. Your testimony is you were in shop class at the end of the day. And as you said, your teacher, Mr. Kane, ragged on you for making a mess and you started cleaning up. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and shortly thereafter, you say Kelvin tossed his leftovers into your pile, which upset you, right?
Yeah.
Then, after class ended, you were on the outside staircase, leaving school, when Kelvin shoved you, and your testimony is that you fell down.
Yeah. He pushed me down the stairs for no reason and then started trash talking me.
And you wanted to confront him.
Objection.
Sustained. Conclusion.
But Mr. Dox, you charged up the stairs after Kelvin, didn't you?
Well, yeah,
But when you got to the top of the landing, Kelvin was now being held by Mr. Kane. So even though Kelvin couldn't attack you, you still threw a punch at him, didn't you?
I didn't want to hurt him, but he was...
Your Honor, please instruct the witness to answer the question.
Gregory, what were you thinking when you hit Kelvin?
I thought he was getting loose and was gonna hit me again. I never meant for this to happen, I swear. He looked so surprised, he wasn't even mad. And then he fell back and he hit his head. Back here. I should have just done what he said. I should have just cleaned up his leftovers in shop. I have dreams now. Dreams every night about killing my friends. I just want it to stop.
Can you explain this?
Get me a banana. I'll give you a demonstration. I've become fairly dexterous.
Apparently you provided Jenny Hastings with this condom. Her foster parents are not pleased.
Perhaps they'd be happier if Jenny came home pregnant. Give me that if it makes you so uncomfortable.
I've had sex before, you know.
Congratulations.
Lots of times. With different women in different places, some of which might shock you.
Where's this going?
I just want you to know I am not a prude. I live in the world.
You're a rational man. A man who plans ahead. I'll bet you leave out the next day's clothes the night before.
What saves time?
These are children. They don't plan anything. Most of them think that abstinence means only having sex with their boyfriend. Some of these girls see it as the only love they can get. Just say no is ludicrous and ineffective advice.
Nonetheless, DCF cannot use federal funds to promote sex by giving condoms to underage girls.
I'm not promoting sex. I'm promoting birth control and disease prevention. Now you look me in the eye and tell me I'm wrong.
Just because you're right doesn't mean you win. That's part of living in the world, Maxine. Maybe the hardest part. So unless you're going to change the world...
That is exactly why I do this job. To change the world. And you, Mr. Potter, are too damn young to give up your ideals.
2 boys. 1 white, 1 black. A schoolyard brawl. 1 teenager dead.
That's right. And justice must be served.
I don't believe you filed an appearance in this case, sir. Throughout this trial, we've heard repeated testimony by both sides that the first punch was thrown by the deceased, Kelvin Duncan, and that Gregory Docks was merely defending himself. The issue is whether excessive force was used in that defense. It's a rhetorical question, Reverend Mueller. You speak up again and I'll have you removed. Now, given the defendant's testimony, the question now is whether there is credible evidence that Mr. Duncan was about to hit Mr. Docks. It is clear to me that Mr. Docks did not intend to kill Mr. Duncan. But it is equally clear to me that he struck him in anger and without legal justification. At the end of the day, I can't get inside Gregory Docks' head. I don't know whether what he did was racially motivated or not. But what I do believe, beyond a reasonable doubt, is that as angry and upset as Mr. Docks was when he charged up those stairs, he did not do so in self-defense. Accordingly, I find the defendant delinquent of the crime of manslaughter and commit him to DCF for 3 years.
3 years?
Too little, too late.
I delivered my decision, Reverend.
Let's go.
We had 3 parabolic mics on him. One of them had quite a hiss, but you can make out most of what you're saying.
Thank you.
Do you mind me asking? What do you hope to find out?
What happened, mostly? What went wrong?
And you're wondering if somehow it was your fault?
I'm missing a chunk of my life. I guess I want it back. No matter what it is.
I'll be outside if you need anything.
What's up? You're a house. People at the college. You eat dinner in the dining room. My house. Old man always drunk, Mom. Make TV dinners when she wasn't too depressed. And I swore when I grew up I was gonna have a happy family like yours.
Come on, Russ. You kids need you. Let's walk away from this. I'm gonna go tell the cops you're ready to talk. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
need to cut recess. We've got an emergency bail hearing.
All right. I gotta ask you something first. You can't tell me I didn't do the right thing.
What are you talking about? You don't need my approval.
Then why do I think I do?
Because I'm the only black man you know. I'm the only first-person source of information you have on that topic, and you think that authorizes me to speak for somebody other than myself. It doesn't. You made a common mistake a lot of people do, including judges and reverends. They're waiting for you. So.
Vincent, what a surprise.
Relax, I'm not moving back in.
Oh, you're welcome to.
I just needed to cook, and our kitchen is so small. I've had this obsession ever since the accident. I'm sure there are support groups for when it gets out of control.
What are you making?
Paella.
It's out of control. Vincent, you need a sous chef for paella.
Congratulations. You're hired.
This is a very difficult dish, Vincent.
I got a college degree.
In comparative literature, which means you should read about paella.
Oh, hey. You want to soak these clams?
It's precisely what I'm in the mood for. Everything all right?
I listened to the tapes today. Me and Russ.
Why?
His mother came to see me. She wanted to know what we talked about, and I couldn't remember.
Did you learn anything?
Just I did the best I could, and it didn't make any difference. I told his mother I was sure it was an accident.
Good.
You think it's okay to foster an illusion?
Only where mothers are concerned.
The truth is, he didn't give a damn. He wanted out, and he didn't care if he took me or anybody else with him. That's not the whole story. That's not who he was all the time.
We're all a mess of contradictions. Dying doesn't change that. I still disagree with your father from time to time. That's how you know that people haven't really died. They keep on annoying us.
We should have fun when I go.
Forget it. I refuse to outlive you, even if it kills me.
All rise.
What's going on?
Assistant State's Attorney Gil Sandler, Your Honor. Christopher Sweeney violated your terms of release. We're requesting he be held.
What are the allegations, counsel?
Christopher Sweeney is accused of approaching Michelle Taggart, displaying this knife, and telling her he wanted her to change her mind.
Is she all right?
She fell down some stairs trying to get away from Christopher. She's under sedation at St. Michael's.
Your Honor, Mr. Sweeney has a right to a hearing to challenge these allegations.
That's correct, Counselor. Why wasn't the defendant charged with assault with a dangerous weapon, threats, or intimidation of a witness?
The charges are being investigated as we speak. We anticipate he'll be arraigned tomorrow.
All right. Well, subject to the hearing on whether these allegations were committed by the defendant and his arraignment tomorrow, I am now remanding Mr. Sweeney to detention and ordering that he be held on $5,000 cash bail.
I love her. I just wanted her to know that I love her.
Ma? 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 What? What? What's wrong?
What happened?
What? I put my legs up on the bed to ease my lower back, and I must have nodded off.
Well, I thought you had a stroke. You know, you smoke too much. You eat fried cheese. You worry too much.
Amy, I'm fine. I fell asleep. What's your excuse?
I hate Lolly's husband.
Then we must have him killed. Oh, my lumbar region is so tense. It's pulling up my socks.
He seems like a nice guy. He's all funny and jokey and handsome, but he always takes center stage, even when it's Lolly's turn.
Amy, I know this man bothers you, but, that's not the reason you're prowling the halls at 1:13 in the morning.
I made a mistake in court. I made a bad call.
Well, won't be your last.
I was getting so sure of myself. Now I feel like I'm guessing all the time.
Then you're getting better, Amy. There's nothing worse than a judge who thinks she's infallible. The struggle is everything. Now go to bed. Do you want to sleep with me?
No, Mom, that's very sweet, but no thanks.
Night then.
Here in this town, they have all got the blues. As the paper boy takes off without any news. Angels have wings you can feel free to use. The corner store dogs you can freely abuse. And I'm yelling and screaming 'cause baby it's driving me crazy. If I could spare more remorse from my emptied out woes, I would name them. 'Cause the fog's getting bigger, the world's spinning fast. The chaos is building, it's going to last. And it's so hard to see, and you're so hard to find. The days when I think I am losing my mind.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime. Is a woman guilty of killing her own sister? Find out on Law and Order. Next on TNT.
Of course I think it's a good idea. I'm just not sure it's how I want to spend my lunch hour. How about just eating lunch?
Mommy, I have to tell you something.
Hold on a second, sweetie. Well, I've come this far without learning how to beat somebody up.
But it's important.
Tell Uncle Vincent I'm on the phone.
Well, polar ice caps are melting.
I know that.
Does that mean we're all gonna drown?
Not today.
But someday?
Yeah, maybe. Ow.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Where do you hear about
No, not in your lifetime.
Okay, I will go, but I get to pick the activity the next time. Okay. Okay, fine.
Who are you gonna beat up?
Ollie wants me to take a self-defense class.
What's self-defense?
Learning how to protect yourself.
From what?
From things. Just eat your cereal.
Hey, listen to this. With no regard for personal safety, Winslow pulled the 5 kittens to safety before the camper exploded into flames. Edgar Winslow, this month's hero next door. That, my friends, is journalism.
Why did the camper explode?
Hey, I have an idea. Let's change the subject into something happy. Hi, Mom.
Henry Galloway died.
Who's Henry Galloway?
He's a, neighbor. Died of a heart attack. Day before yesterday. I just ran into Joanne Jeffers while I was walking Socrates. She told me.
Was he old?
Not really. He was my age.
Are you gonna have a heart attack?
No. No. Honey, go brush your teeth. At the rate we're going today, Lauren is going to need a baby Valium.
I can't believe it. I ran into him last week at the market. I nearly got frostbite in the frozen food section trying to avoid him.
Why were you avoiding him?
You know why.
Mom, Vivian was your best friend.
She knows where I live. She's had 15 years to apologize.
Maybe now's a good time to make up.
Didn't this have something to do with a boat?
No. It was much more complicated than that.
I'm sorry that her husband died, but that doesn't mean that it erases everything that happened between us. I'll make her a cake. That's as far as it goes.
Well, our ice caps are melting.
Thank you.
Maxine, is that you?
Vivian, I'm so sorry about Henry.
Thank you. It was nice of you to come.
I know when Edward died,
What did you bring?
Oh, a chocolate pound cake.
Henry used to love that. Of course, I'm allergic to chocolate.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot.
It doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts. Maxine, I wanted to call you so many times.
Oh, well, things conspire.
Yes, everyone's so very busy these days. How are your children?
Oh, they're fine. But Amy's back home. She has a daughter. She's a judge now.
I'm meeting with Peter about Henry's insurance.
Oh, he didn't tell me.
I asked him not to.
Oh.
Life is so short, Maxine.
Yes, it is.
Missed having you to talk to.
Is there anything I can do?
You can be my friend and let bygones be bygones.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
After all, your stubborn nature is one of the things I admire about you.
Well, you know where to find me, Vivian.
Well, thanks again. I know this wasn't easy for you.
To do is establish boundaries and enforce them. Okay, know what your own boundaries are and don't let anyone beyond them. Okay? Lolly, you're next. Try using the techniques we've learned so far.
Okay.
Hey, lady, you got the time?
Sorry, I don't have a watch. Keep your distance. Stay where you are, please. You're making me uncomfortable.
Hey, all I want is the time.
Turn around and walk away now.
What's wrong with you, bitch?
Hey, this guy is harassing me. He's wearing blue overalls and sneakers and he refuses to walk away.
Terrific. Okay, good. All right, Amy, you're next.
Hey, lady, can I buy you a drink?
No, thank you.
Oh, you too good for a guy like me?
I don't want any trouble.
Louder.
Go away. You're too close, and I'm getting uncomfortable.
Yell at him, Amy.
Go away.
Louder.
Go away. I don't want any trouble.
Come on. Get position. Go for the eyes. Come on, get position. Go for the groin.
That's all right. Next time, you'll get better, Amy. It's okay. Go.
Hey, it takes time. Don't worry, we'll get it. Okay, good work for today, ladies. That's all. Thank you.
That was really invigorating.
Oh, you look pretty impressive. I'm sure you haven't done this before.
I just kept picturing Matt Gibson, the guy who dumped me in the 10th grade.
Matt Gibson dumped you?
Yeah, he was in love with some skinny-ass track star.
Me?
Yep. That's why you'll be buying the cappuccinos.
The guy's running for city council. That makes his life an open book. Hey, if he doesn't want anybody to read that book, then he should stay out of politics. Yeah, let him sue. I want a story on the bond issue for the new convention center. Let's see what people are saying. Talk to the mayor, local business owners, hockey fans, anybody who'll be affected by it.
Listen, I got a tip on a gun dealer at a Danbury. Might be a major weapon supplier for gangs in the area.
And?
How about I do that story first? This bond issue thing can wait.
How about this? You write what I tell you to write, and I'll decide on what can wait.
You would rather have me talk to a bunch of rabid hockey fans than expose the guy who sells guns that kill kids?
Yeah, and here's the kicker. I want it tomorrow. You got anything to add to this conversation, Gray?
Would it make a difference?
Not a bit.
Your Honor, Milton Lattimore was a billionaire. There's no proof that he even met the plaintiff, much less fathered her child.
I have affidavits from 3 persons, Your Honor, who saw them together on several occasions.
Yeah, 3 people in Thailand. This paternity suit is a shameless attempt to extract money from the deceased. Ms. Kam Singh never made an effort to identify Milton Lattimore as the father of her child while he was still alive.
Because Lattimore bought her silence.
Okay, that's enough, Mr. Lynchburg. Now, this is a question of facts. I'm not going to accept affidavits. You're going to have to produce live witnesses. What's next?
Mr. Lynchburg contends that before Mr. Lattimore was lost at sea, he had a mole tested for cancer at Boston Biotech, and claims that the DNA from that mole will corroborate the paternity claim. We move to exclude.
Well, surely you're not questioning the scientific credibility of DNA testing.
Oh, no, Your Honor. But the procedures used at Boston Biotech do not meet the Daubert standards.
Well, that's an issue for trial, Mr. Connolly. So let's set a hearing for next week. It's going to take me a while to get through all these, so let's continue.
Thursday at 10 o'clock.
How about Thursday at 10 o'clock?
No good, Your Honor.
Friday at 3?
Friday at 3.
Nope, Friday's no good either. I appreciate your patience, Your Honor. I will meet with my colleagues and we will make Thursday work.
Thank you. Mr. Lynchburg?
Good for me, Your Honor.
Thursday at 10. We're adjourned.
Sean, I just need a minute.
I don't have a minute.
Then I'll take a second. I was reading the file on the Colvin girl.
Colvin girl?
The 3-year-old in the Rosen preschool case. Her parents withdrew the complaint because the DA said the child was too young to testify.
So she's not really part of the case, is she?
I talked to the parents and they changed their minds. They want to proceed. It turns out they took her to the doctor twice because of unexplained injuries.
Maxine, doctors are mandated reporters. If they suspect child abuse, they're obligated by law to report it.
I'm aware of that, Sean.
Well, then if the doctor didn't report it, we have to assume there was no abuse.
I try not to assume anything. You know that. Sometimes pediatricians don't want to bother. All that paperwork, and they're afraid of losing clients.
So you're going to accuse the doctor of lying?
No. I just want to talk to him.
All right.
So it looks like Lattimore pulled his all-star lineup right off of Court TV.
Those guys are big dollar, big ego AKC attack dogs. They got huge money behind them, and they draw a lot of publicity.
Okay, they're intimidating, but push comes to shove, they're still just lawyers. What?
They're just lawyers, but these high-profile cases can really knock you off course. The last time I saw so much firepower in one place was a case that went before Judge Turpin. You never know what hit him.
Was it like this? Paternity case?
No custody. Turpin ruled against the Waller suits, but they were bloodthirsty on the appeal. Made him look like an idiot. His career never did get back on track. But of course, if he was ruled the other way, people would have wondered if he had been swayed by all that muscle.
So what are you saying I should do?
I'm not saying you should do anything. Just be careful.
Okay, I'll be careful.
I can tell you how much I appreciate this.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but you're missing work. So, Here's $10 and $2 for gas.
I'm taking you to the doctor. I'm not donating a lung. Just hang on to your money.
God, I admire you.
Come on, then.
Just keep walking.
Push. You call that a push, moron? Push like a girl.
Oh, here we go. The lizard brain in action.
Jack, buddy. Hey, come on, hit me. I'll just try it. Let's go.
breathe on
the ground. Let's go.
Hey.
Come on.
Hey, come on. Hey, cut it out. Stop it. Hey, guys, stop it. It's an accident. You gonna come to blows over it?
Who the hell are you?
Just exchange numbers and walk away. What? Get in your car, back it up, take yours, pull it on over there. Thank you.
That was the most heroic and courageously brave thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Bar none. End of story. Case closed.
Two guys to get in their cars.
Oh, no. That was like something Bruce Willis would do. I mean, early Bruce, before he started seeing dead people. Weren't you scared of those guys?
I didn't really think about it.
I'm not convinced anything happened to the child.
Then the evidence will bear that out. But if there was a suspicion of possible sexual abuse, you should have reported that, and we would have investigated that.
What evidence? Lisa Phelps brings her son Kenny in, saying his wrist hurts. So we x-rayed it, and right there you can see it's fractured. Dana Colvin brings her daughter in saying that she's acting weird. There's no x-ray for that.
There are symptoms. Nightmares, bedwetting, unexplained bruises.
My 5-year-old had nightmares when our poodle died. And he's always covered in bruises. He's a kid. Diane, we're gonna have to set Kenny's arm. Tell him I'll be right there.
Right away. Mrs. Colvin said there was evidence of vaginal tearing.
There are many ways that can happen to an active 3-year-old.
Yes, and one of them is sexual abuse.
Mrs. Gray, I don't mean any disrespect, but I've had experience with DCF before. Everybody's a monster to you people.
Then Sasha's medical records will verify that my suspicions are groundless.
Those records are confidential and can be interpreted half a dozen ways.
You're a mandated reporter, Dr. Bellamy. You're supposed to report, not interpret. I don't want to have to notify the medical licensing board.
You gotta be kidding me.
It's up to you.
Sales are up 8%, with projections for next quarter even higher.
Well, then we're on the same page, because we've got something new that we're really excited about. It's a 3-in-1. It's a homeowner's, an auto, and a personal umbrella liability all in one package.
Really? Well, that would work well for us.
And we're targeting homeowners that pencil out at $500,000 or more.
I think I've got the perfect candidate. Phil Bennett. Let's see, house is 15 years old, roof good, plumbing good, interior alarm system. He'll probably jump at it. Here he is. We covered this caddy he's so proud of. His wife's car, too.
Oh. This brother's got a $500,000 house? What does he do?
He's a pharmacist.
Oh, that's what he's calling himself. Makes house calls, too, I imagine, huh?
Crack house calls.
Oh, no. Okay, now, where were we?
The 3-in-1 package.
Right. Now, Peter, I want you on board. So give us a heads up if there's anything you need. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Good. Anybody hungry? I am starved.
Maxine!
Oh, brother.
What the hell is this complaint about?
Dr. Bellamy hadn't reported the possibility of sexual abuse.
So you filed a complaint with the licensing board?
Mrs. Colvin said that the doctor indicated to her that sexual abuse was a possibility, but we never got a call.
A possibility is not definitive.
At least the complaint would be on Bellamy's record. Plus, he could be sued for damages if the child was injured any further.
We need his cooperation more than his comeuppance. His testimony could make the case.
That may be. But I am not about to cozy up to a doctor who does nothing when he suspects a child has been molested. Besides, he'd be subpoenaed.
He'd be hostile. He wouldn't help our case. Can't you take a different tack? Turn on your considerable charm.
I only use that as a last resort.
We're there. All right?
All right. I'll go back and make up. But you're ruining my reputation.
Can I give Socrates some pepperoni?
Not on your life.
He likes it.
I'm the one that has to sleep with him. Amy, can you get that? Lauren, get ready for bed. Vincent, would you let Socrates out for his evening constitutional?
Come on, boy. Let's do some business.
You have to stand by the door. He gets embarrassed if you watch him.
Mom, it's Vivian Galloway. She returned your cake pan. She wants to thank you.
Tell her I'm not home.
Well, I already told her you were.
Then tell her you can't find me.
Mom, she's making an effort.
I just wanted to say I was sorry about her husband. I didn't mean to kickstart the relationship.
Well, this is humiliating.
She was rude to me when I was there.
She's standing in the hall.
I'll go talk to her. God.
Are you ashamed of yourself?
Not for this.
Mrs. Galloway, how are you?
Vincent Gray. Look at you. You're a grown man.
Actually, I've looked like this for quite a while.
Of course, you're a year younger than Jason. And he's a father now. He's got 2 little boys.
That's great. And how's Maggie?
Oh, she's a free spirit, you know. She's studying something in Paris. I forget what.
I'm sorry about Mr. Galloway.
Thank you. Was the carpet always this color? I think this is new. Maxine always did love to change the house. That's a different light fixture, too.
My mom is, tied up right now. She's involved with something. Truth is, she doesn't want to see you.
Why?
I don't know.
That woman can latch onto a grudge, can't she?
Well, I don't really know what happened, so...
Henry thought your father should pay for the insurance on the boat because he used it more and because he was in the business, which made perfect sense.
Mrs. Galloway.
Since we never made your family pay for the fence that you ran over when you were learning how to drive, not to mention the hours of listening to Peter play that god-awful guitar.
You know what? I really don't want to be in this.
Of course you don't. You're a Gray, aren't you? Running away is your specialty.
Mrs. Galloway. Good night.
Right this way.
See what I'm saying there?
Watch your step.
Thanks for taking the time, Mother. I know you're busy.
Well, it's not every day that my firstborn asks me to tea. In fact, I can't remember that ever happening. What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
I'm feeling cowardly. I had a meeting yesterday with some guys from Tri-State Mutual. One of them made a joke about a black client. Everybody laughed, but for me it was like the sky had fallen.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I just sat there. Well, it's not like racist remarks haven't always bothered me, but I put up with it. I figured it's not my business to censor people. But now, because of Ned, I feel I have a responsibility, and if I don't speak up, I'm letting him down.
It would have been good if you'd said something. But you didn't.
Well, I wanted to say something. I wanted to tell them all to go to hell, but I'm no good at confrontation.
No one is good at confrontation.
You are.
Perhaps.
We do a lot of business with these guys. What am I supposed to do? Call them all bigots and storm out? I need them.
No, Peter, you don't.
Ma'am?
Thank you.
For you, sir? Thank you. Did we make a mistake adopting Ned? I mean, can we really raise him with any sense of ethnic identity? Are we cheating him?
He's your son, Peter. Love him. That's what matters.
But I want him to learn how to be a strong, proud African-American man.
Teach him how to be a strong, proud human being. He'll have to figure out the rest of it.
But I'm never really going to understand the way my son sees the world. Or how the world sees him.
No one can live another person's experience, Peter. And if you try, you will be cheating him. You want Ned to grow up able to look the world in the eye. You can teach him that, if you know how to do it yourself. And I think you do.
Another motion to exclude, Your Honor. This is getting ridiculous.
You can't verify the chain of custody of the mole.
Boston Biotech is one of the most reputable forensics labs in this country.
It doesn't matter. The sample was taken in a doctor's office.
All right, that's enough.
Your Honor.
Quiet. Now, this issue goes to the weight of the evidence, not its admissibility. Motion denied.
Approach, Your Honor. With all due respect, Your Honor, may I point out a possible conflict of interest?
What conflict is that?
In 1988, you wrote an article for the Harvard Law Review criticizing a New London judge for suppressing DNA evidence in a paternity suit.
Checking up on me, Mr. Connolly?
Just being thorough, Your Honor. But in all honesty, how can you rule impartially on arguments against DNA evidence when you made up your mind 12 years ago?
By taking an oath to do so, Counselor.
Would it not be more appropriate to recuse yourself?
Do you want to make that your next motion?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
Then step back. What else?
Your Honor, we move for a change of venue.
To Thailand.
You crazy!
Your Honor.
Sit down and shut up.
Quiet!
I'm not going to tell you people again. Direct your comments to the bench. I'm getting tired of this. I need a minute.
10-minute recess. You need to take control of your courtroom.
I have control.
As much as they let you have.
In law school, I wanted to intern as a clerk in Connolly's law firm. My Civ Pro professor said I didn't have the taste for blood they wanted. Now I see what he meant.
Look, if you let them bully you, any ruling you make will appear tainted.
First you tell me to be careful, then you tell me to be tough. Which is it?
If you don't want my help, just say the word.
Of course I want your help. I just want it to be consistent.
If you allow the delays and disruptions to continue, you're going to see similar conduct in all your cases.
We'll tell Connolly to submit his last motion in writing and then continue the whole thing until Friday.
Everything they do is orchestrated for a fact. If I go out there and announce a continuance, they're going to think they're getting to you.
They are getting to me.
Fine. That's your decision.
He's not moving. Now what? Run for help!
Yeah, what if he's dead or dying?
Well, it's not against the law to kill someone who's trying to hurt you, Amy. You know that.
Yeah, but I don't think I could kill anyone. I mean, that's just me.
Okay, could you kill someone who's trying to hurt your child?
Sure.
Don't you deserve as much? You're her mother. Where would she be without you?
With your mother.
Oh, God. Oh, that is scary.
Come on up, Amy. You're next.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I talk to you for a second?
Please step back. I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to tell you this is a bad neighborhood. I hate to see you walk around alone. Can I give you a ride somewhere?
No, thank you.
Really, I don't think it's safe for you. I'd hate to see anything happen to you.
Well, why do you care?
Well, I've got a sister your age. Come on, why don't you let me help? I feel responsible.
Well, you're not, so go away.
Please, I just want to help.
Really, I want to help you.
No, you don't. Stop saying you want to help me. You don't. Dear God. Enough. Good. Good. What?
Hey, you want to see me?
Yeah, have a seat, Gray. Imagine my surprise when I go to read your article on the bond issue and I find a story about a gun dealer out of Danbury.
Yeah, I just wanted you to take a look at that. I'll have the convention center thing in an hour.
That's not the point. Why are you always fighting me? Why can't you write what I tell you to write? Is it because you think you're some hotshot novelist who wants to foist his POV on the masses? Well, nobody cares, Gray. One more time and you're gone. Oh, and a word to the wise, F. Scott. Remember what we really do here.
Just not the ad speech.
That's right, we sell ads. We put a bunch of ads together and then we try to get people to buy those ads by putting a little news and sports between them.
That's not what I do.
I'm done arguing with you.
Yeah, I'm not.
Hey, I'm your boss, and that makes me right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right.
That's brilliant leadership strategy. We'll have the bond issue thing by 3.
Ray!
Oh, Maxine! Oh, hello. I don't mean to bother you.
No bother. Trying to keep the perennials alive. Henry planted them 20 years ago. It's like having part of him here.
You returned the wrong pan.
I did. And whose is that?
Well, I have no idea.
Maybe this is Dolores Nares. No, Sonia Toscano, maybe.
Well, I have to go.
Why wouldn't you see me the other night?
Why did you insult my son?
Were you eavesdropping?
Yes, I was.
The thing about you, Maxine, is you do not like to face the truth about yourself or anyone you love. You've always been that way.
Excuse me, but your idea of the truth is the world according to Vivian, in which the glass is not only half empty, it's dirty and has mold on the bottom.
For example, the way Amy used to chummy up to Maggie. After school when she needed something and then ignore her when there were other people around.
Maggie stole jewelry from Amy's bedroom. My mother's cameo ring.
I don't want to do this.
You started it.
No, you started it when you came over here.
I was trying to be charitable.
You don't know how. The Grays all think they piss liquid gold.
What?
Well, it's the truth. Edward looked down on Henry because he didn't make as much money. And then expected him to pick up the lion's share of that boat.
Don't start about the boat again.
Just go away, Maxine. There was a reason we didn't speak for 15 years.
Well, here's to another 15.
I know you don't give a damn about Henry, so stop pretending.
My husband died 10 years ago. Where the hell were you, Vivian? You didn't even bother to pretend.
Hey, Vincent. Pretty sexy piece on that bond issue. Ladies love a guy who knows his municipal finance.
They say, Lyle, sell the sizzle.
And nothing sizzles like 6% interest and 5-year maturation. Hey, Chief. Vincent made that bond issue so sexy. What's a probe an industrial sewage spill next?
Take another pill, Cooper. The coroner scooped you on the bond issue. Turns out the numbers were padded. There's going to be an investigation.
How did I miss this?
I'll tell you how. You wasted half the day on the gun story, so you just threw the other one together. You didn't think anything was there, so you didn't look into it. That's sloppy journalism, Gray. I don't like it, and I don't like you. I want you gone by the end of the week.
That's insane. Everybody gets scooped now and then. He'll back down, don't worry.
Bellamy?
Diane, contact security.
I understand why I'm not your favorite person, but I come in peace.
Never mind.
I have friends at the licensing board.
I never meant to go through with the complaint.
Is this just a game to you, ruining someone's professional reputation?
No, far from it. There's nothing fun or whimsical about children suffering. I'm sure you agree. Sasha Colvin was abused by a teacher at her preschool. If your office had reported your suspicions, we could have done something a long time ago. Now we're fighting an uphill battle, and I don't want to be at war with you. I have enough opponents right now.
And what do you want?
Your help. And I understand why you would be reluctant to give it. And believe it or not, I also understand why you were reluctant to report your suspicions about Sasha. I don't think it was about cynicism or wanting to cover for anyone. I think that when it comes to sexual abuse involving children, nobody wants it to be true. So we try and give it another name. Unfortunately, it doesn't go away unless we call it what it is.
How many children are we talking about?
3 that we know of. And the possibilities are fairly staggering.
3 is too many.
Sasha can't testify because she's too young. We need medical verification. But I can't ask you to be part of this case unless you're willing to support your own findings. It will be a long and harrowing ordeal, and believe me, you don't want to go down that road unless you're sure.
I need to clear some time so we can talk.
I think that's a fine idea.
Peter, Stan tells me you're a die-hard Giants fan.
Yeah, Peter just booked client seats for the Giants game next month.
Oh, super. Now, down to business.
Excuse me, guys, before we get started, I have to say something. It's a little awkward. The other day, some things were said that bothered me. I didn't object at the time, but, I need to set the record straight.
What?
The racial remarks. My wife and I adopted a biracial baby boy, so when you say things like that, it feels like an attack.
I don't remember any racial remarks.
I don't think anyone in our company supports racist humor, Peter. I'm sorry if you were offended.
We certainly didn't mean anything by it.
I mean, my racquetball partner's black.
Well, I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Sure. Glad you did. What's good here, Dale?
You know me, steak extra rare. Just knock the wind out of it, hand me a fork.
Excuse me, I need to wash my hands.
Excuse me?
Len, can I talk to you?
You said all I have to say.
I know that. I haven't. Listen, you were right about the story. I made a big mistake. You're probably right to fire me.
Probably nothing.
I just felt like I wanted to do something important. No, that's not it. Listen, ever since the accident, I've had this bizarre sense of fearlessness. It's cropping up in the strangest places. But, I was starting to mistake it for courage, but it's not. It's just fearlessness. It's not always appropriate. Anyway, I wanted to apologize to you.
You know anything about Buddhism, Gray?
A little bit.
Well, they have the saying. Before enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. Small things matter.
Yeah, I get that now.
You ready to chop wood and carry water?
Yeah.
Then I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this on short notice, Maxine. I completely forgot about the neighborhood watch meeting.
Are you kidding? I love spending time with Ned.
Now he's eaten, but he needs a bath. Is that too much trouble?
Not at all. Oh, God. The cake pan saga continues. Hello, Vivian.
I think I found your pan.
Well, you needn't have trouble. That pan is so old. You know my daughter-in-law, Jillian. And this is my grandson, Ned.
My heavens, Maxine. He's so beautiful.
Oh, well, we think so.
Oh, look at those big eyes. Well, you just want to look at everything, don't you, Ned? You're a very busy boy. May I hold him?
Oh, yeah, he may cry. He's going through a phase.
Oh, you are just the most beautiful little person. I have grandsons, but they're too big to hold. I miss that. It's like holding a baby will cure anything. At least I feel that way. Oh, look at those little fingers. Aren't you something? You're so lucky, Maxine.
Oh, I know.
It's nice meeting you.
Yes, you too. Thank you, Maxine. I'll be back in an hour.
Vivian? Do you want to come in for a while?
I don't want to intrude.
I'm on babysitting duty. I could use the company.
You don't have to be polite, Maxine. And I don't want to be pitied.
It's not pity, and you should know by now that I'm anything but polite.
Well, if you're sure.
I am.
We never could do anything about your hydrangeas, Maxine.
No, never could.
All rise.
Mr. Connolly, the court has reviewed your motion for a change of venue, and it is hereby denied.
Your Honor.
I have no jurisdiction to provide you such relief. And furthermore, the motion was clearly frivolous, while providing some comic relief, was filed solely for the purposes of delaying these proceedings. You're fortunate I'm not imposing attorney fees. I therefore order all parties to appear at a hearing Monday morning at 10 o'clock to determine what sanctions should be imposed. And in addition, if you have any more motions, they should be on my desk by the end of the day. We go to trial on Tuesday.
Your Honor, that is an unrealistic deadline. I cannot be prepared by Tuesday.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Connolly.
Your Honor, you cannot ask me to appear before I am prepared. That's grounds for appeal.
Sit down, Mr. Connolly.
My client deserves the best defense I can give him.
Sit down now. Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock. Dismissed.
I think Connolly finally got the message. But you know he's going to appeal if the case doesn't go his way.
Let him.
No, I'm just saying, watch out for that. Make sure you play by the book during the trial. He'll jump on any mistake.
And what did you think I was going to do? Make it up as I went along?
Judge Gray, I'm just trying to help.
No, you're not. This sounds like support, but it's not.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just letting you know how it's going to be.
Well, that's not your job. And frankly, I don't know why you assume that anticipating everything that could possibly go wrong is helpful.
Okay. We've had a long day. Let's just table this discussion.
Here's what I think. I think you're still angry that I yanked you back into my courtroom. I apologized. I gave you the opportunity to leave. So if you're going to stay, you have to bury the hatchet. That's all.
Good night.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, Amy presides when two rival students are on trial. All the drama of judging Amy, coming up next on TNT.